Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's that time. It's tarot time with Cindy. I'm going to do a general collective message. I am going to utilize the Wild Unknown Oracle and Tarot decks to do this message, and we're going to get right into it, my friends. Just a gentle reminder that this is a general collective reading because it's general. It may or may not resonate. If it does resonate, I'm glad we're able to connect. If it does not, hopefully the next time. My friends, we're going to look at your energy and just an energy outside of you. That energy could be anything. It could be you in the future. It could be you in the past. It could be someone you're about to meet. Could be a friend. Could be a foe. Could be anything. Just keeping it open. Your energy first. The collective. Ooh, the Bat. This is my ancestors are guiding you card. This is also, I want to say that you're probably really tapping heavily into your intuition right now. There's you're being guided through perhaps even a dark period or a period here where you're not sure what the exit through this tunnel is going to look like. You might also be finding yourself in an environment or a situation that is unfamiliar to you, and you have to kind of lean into aspects of yourself that you haven't used before. But you definitely have ancestors around guiding you right now. You have a lot of strong ancestral presence. It's almost as if you can't end up on the wrong path right now. The energy outside of you is the Spider. Isn't that interesting? The Spider. I'm saying that's interesting because I'm thinking like both of these creatures are actually hunting the same things. They're hunting the same things, but in different ways. So what I will say is that there could be an approach, a technique that you have to an area of your life that is going to be changing. You could even be stepping out of a cycle here where you have had to be more active in terms of what you're going after, what you're trying to get, but it's going into a cycle where you're going to be drawing things towards you. Like things will just naturally come towards you. You won't have to go out and look for them. Wow, that's interesting. At the bottom you have the bee and the tarantula. It's almost like being an uncomfortable center of attention. Like being the center of attention, and that is uncomfortable. It creates discomfort here. It could be like something you've done creatively. I know some of you that are watching, you are artists. So it could be like it could be something artistic that you have created. It could be something, and that could be like, you know, in a very obvious form of a piece of artwork or something like that. But there's almost like something about the way you do things really catches attention. And tarantula. Tarantulas don't make webs, like not that I'm aware of. I don't think they have that aspect of themselves. But that's really interesting because the spider is the energy outside of you. I'm going to have to explore this energy outside of you a little bit more because there's a secondary message that is definitely coming in here, right? Like, so if I wanted to try to catch a bat, and I don't know why anything would want to try to catch you or what would be the intention of that, but we're going to try to understand this a little bit more. Because if I filled this web with insects and the insects themselves were still kind of like trying to flutter around, I want to say it would probably draw the attention of the bat, which is the energy that you are coming up with right now. And there's just something really odd about how these cards are playing out. Like this is kind of like a past energy, something going on before it's in the past that is leading up to these energies that I'm looking at right now. And it's almost kind of like, right, I almost see this tarantula somehow getting its hands on this bee. And again, working together with the spider and putting the bee in the web, in the spider's web to draw in the bat. It could be something like, let's say somebody's been trying to get your attention and it hasn't been working. So they're going to try something a little more, maybe a little more obvious or maybe even unconventional. I mean, this whole thing feels a little bit unconventional the way I'm describing it. Okay, the other thing I want to say with this as well is that it could even be finding your place. Like the way this came out, like you're moving from an energy of being active, so yang, into a more passive yin energy. And the same things will come to you, honestly, with less effort. So that's interesting, right? I mean, that's kind of nice. I like a message like that. Like, more things will come to you, but with less effort. And so is it you, the spider, trying to find your place here and then getting into the right area, getting into the web? Because you can think about the tarantula as well. It can be both passive and active. The tarantula could be at a period where it's actively walking around and hunting, and in other periods where it will just sit and it will wait for something to come by. I really do feel like y'all are moving from having to have a more active approach to things, where you have to actively go out and seek what it is that you want, to actually finding that, I'm not even putting in as much effort as I used to, and I'm actually getting more, is what this feels like. So less work and more reward? And your ancestors are guiding you towards that cycle. The bat, we have the death card, so like a rebirth here. Something, let me just see. Ooh, the Tower. The Four of Swords. And Justice. Wow. I don't know. I really do feel like y'all have been working very hard. I feel like you've been working very, very hard to get whatever it is that you can get in life. I don't know. Maybe that's an income. Maybe that's certain achievements that you would like to achieve. Certain achievements you would like to achieve. You know what I'm saying. There's something has gone on here. It almost feels like a pressure point, like with this Tower card, and then like the third eye being healed here for the Lamb. It's almost like some sort of catastrophe or some sort of difficulty or extreme change that you went through or you are going through right now. And you do have to kind of work real hard. You have to kind of really tap into. It's almost like exercising a muscle that you've never used before, and exercising it over and over and over again, to the point where it's something that you never really relied on in the past, and then it becomes something that you almost are dependent on. But when I say dependent on, it almost becomes like a new superpower type of energy for yourself here. It could, again, with the third eye being lit up and the bat, I really do feel like it might have something to do with your intuition here. Your intuition, perhaps even if it's gone on the downside in some way, it's kind of coming up again really, really strong. The Justice card is making it feel like it's the right time. Like energies are balanced for this shift, this switch to be happening for you. So going from a period of having to work harder for less, and then going into a period where you don't put in as much effort and more comes to you. Very receptive. Wow, the Ace of Wands. Dynamic ideas. Well, isn't that a good idea? I would say it's a good idea. You have the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the Daughter of Cups. Okay. It really honestly looks like to me that there's something that you've been trying to find. You've been trying to discover this in your life. There may have been a lot of illusions that you've been working through here, a lot of things that haven't really seemed clear to you. Maybe not understanding why you're on the path that you're on. Maybe not understanding why certain things have unfolded the way that they have. You are going to find great clarity here. This is honestly, I would describe it as someone who is finding their place. It's almost like the pieces to the puzzle for you start to all just kind of fall into place. And it is, you're definitely going into a period here where you can kind of coast. I'm getting sort of like this coasting energy. Maybe some of you have been trying to like create a new business or something like that even as well. And there's, I want to say like a growing period, a growing pain period here where you are really having to actively go out and find what it is, like find new customers, find new clients, try to find your niche in some type of area here. And it is like you find it. You find it. The spider finds its place in the web. The spider finds its place in the web. And this is, I want to say, this is the place. Yes. It's like, yes. This is it. This is exactly what you were looking for. And you hit the mark. Like you hit the mark with this. And then this is really coming across. It's just kind of like coasting. Coasting and the reflection of dreams and wishes sort of starting to become clear to you. What is the energy between? Like, I think this is where you are now and where you're going. What's the energy between these 2 points? It's going from air energy to earth energy. So it could also be, right, like it's your thoughts, taking your thoughts and really grounding them into the earth here. An idea? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of giving me this vibe too of like somebody who finds a niche here you find a niche before anyone else finds it, and it's kind of like all yours. It's almost like the spider comes across the perfect spot in the barn to build a nest, to build the web. Why there's no other spider there, I don't know. Or maybe that wasn't the perfect spot until a board moved and wind currents change, you know. Like it's just really interesting because it feels like there's some sort of synchronicity around this. Trust your mind and trust your instincts here. You're definitely going in the direction that is meant for you. And there's a lot less struggle. Not to say that I'm not really picking up big struggle where you are now, but compared to this energy that you're moving towards, it's just like sitting in the web and just like waiting. No, look. That's the card that came out. Asking about, you know, what is this energy that's between the bat and the spider? It's the Eight of Pentacles, but look, it's a spider in the web again. That's shit me, guys. I don't know if you guys are maybe networking. Maybe you're networking, trying to find a new job. Networking, trying to find a new job. Oh, I'm hearing birds of a feather. Oh, that came out earlier this week. I don't remember when. But there's like kind of that vibe. Anything else come out with this? Eight of Pentacles, the spider. This reading is fucking crazy. Look at this. You got the Hangman. It's a fucking bat. Can we just stop for a second? Right? What's the bat doing? The bat is now resting. The bat is resting. What are we saying? You're going from this period of having to go out and search for things, and you're gonna turn into a spider. Things are just gonna come to you. I love this. I love it when this happens. Because, right, like, obviously these decks are made by the same people, by the same person, but one is an oracle deck and one is a tarot deck. And I love that you're getting this synchronicity here. You get the Five of Swords. And then you get the Daughter of Pentacles. Wow, see, it's like something is being grounded into kind of like the earthly realms here. It's a new idea. It's a new sense of focus. It's a new direction. It sort of, to me, is signifying, this feels like this is like cutting off the end of a cycle here. It is cutting off the end of a cycle. I don't know, for some of you, you might feel a little bit split in two in terms of trying to make a decision about this, which is why it is important to trust your intuition. Like if you're dealing with a situation where like maybe you have some options or you have some possibilities and you're not sure which is the right one for you to go towards, it might be a kind of a bit like the one that maybe you feel a bit uncomfortable about. And I'm saying that because it's uncomfortable because I think it is leading you into a different energy and a different cycle than you've been in. You know, even if you've been in a cycle for a long period of time where you're really actively out there, you got to go out every night, you got to use your sonar and your intuition to find those insects so that you can survive. And then all of a sudden that changes. It's right. Oh my God, it's like you're being reincarnated with this death card. I kind of wonder if even some of you are, you have some type of like bat animal totem around you at this time, and that is changing. Like even the totem, the energetic totem energy around you is changing. It's turning into this spider that's here 3 times. Right? And this death card is symbolizing that change and that shift where you actually receive more by doing less. But right, because justice is also here, so it's intended to do that because it's balancing the scales of justice, it's balancing the scales of energy around you. If you have been more active in pursuing things in life and receiving less, that scale is shifting and you are going to be less active and receiving more. I think this is kind of the coolest reading I've pulled out in decades. Well, I haven't been doing this for decades, so well. Oh, look at that. You have the Eight of Swords at the bottom. It's the chrysalis. This is very symbolic. It's like you're having a reincarnation within this lifetime. You are having a reincarnation. You're being reincarnated within this lifetime. I mean, you know, maybe some of you could describe this as like a south node to a north node energy here, something like that. There's something very, very profound about this cycle shift. And it also feels like something you can't necessarily control. Like you don't really have control over this. It didn't come out, but I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, the Wheel of Fortune here. That could be a situation that you really have no control over. But it's playing out for you perfectly. Right? Like it's almost like giving me this vibe here of someone, let's say this is somebody who, maybe you're a used vacuum salesman. Just coming up with something here with someone maybe on the road constantly and trying to convince people to buy stuff and nobody wants to buy anything. Who the hell wants a used vacuum? Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you, my friend. Do you think you think you're going to buy a new vacuum that's going to work as long as this 30-year-old vacuum does? I'll tell you not, my friend. This vacuum right here is actually made out of steel and aluminum. You know the vacuum you're going to buy now is all plastic. That's all going to... It could have been a used vacuum system. But anyway, like that, all that effort, and then something's changing here. I don't even know how. Like I feel like it's just kind of orchestrated by the universe. You're going to end up in the right place at the right time, and this is your web. This is your web. I'm also getting something here. Well, that's interesting. I feel like there might be some type of new social media platform coming out. That just came in. So, I don't know. If it happens, you heard it here first. Some sort of new social media platform. Social media can be one of those things where people also kind of find a niche. Like find a niche. And yeah, like you could be working from home maybe. Like, because that could be like the spider does everything that it does there at home. It lives, it works, everything there. So going from that used vacuum cleaner salesman to, I don't know, I would almost describe it as passive income. There are very few things that are really, truly passive income. I want to say like RSPs, your 401ks in the US, like pensions and things like that could be like passive income. Every once in a while, I'll have passive income. Well, someone will rent or buy one of my extended readings from like 3 years ago, and I get like $8. I'm like, whoa, that's like I put all my work in on that like 3 years ago, kind of like that. But this feels more like you could like feed yourself. You could feed yourself with it is like a passive income. All right, I'm gonna go. That's what I got. I'm gonna go do the extended for y'all. in the extended, I want to ask more about what this passive and heavily receptive cycle is going to be for you, and if there's anything that you can kind of like do to kind of help yourself go in that direction. There you go. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.